Hey, have you heard the Indiana Fever are back? That's right. They destroyed Chicago tonight, 113-90. And consider the circumstances, okay? They played Saturday night in Brooklyn. They didn't arrive into Chicago until 3 this morning, and they were finishing their fifth road game in the last 8 days. But apparently, nobody told Caitlin Clark she was supposed to be exhausted and tired. She was not. Caitlin Clark was Indiana's most consistent force from beginning to end. She set the tone early. She controlled the pace. She made the entire offense go for Indiana. This is what the Fever looks like when everything runs through Caitlin Clark. She attracts multiple defenders, creates space for everybody else. She turns Indiana into an offensive machine. Then Kelsey Mitchell woke up in the second half, and boy, she was spectacular. Once Mitchell found her rhythm, Chicago had no answer. Clark controlled the game from the start. Mitchell, well, blew it open after halftime. And now we have a really fascinating MVP situation. Some voters may look at Mitchell's scoring and say, that's my MVP. She's a scorer. Others are going to look at Caitlin Clark and understand that when Mitchell is an elite scorer, everything Indiana does runs through, guess who? Caitlin Clark. Now, Clark and Mitchell could end up splitting the MVP vote, and A'ja Wilson could end up running away with it anyway. But if you're asking me, I stay true to my first pick. Who is most valuable to the Fever? No question, it's Clark. Mitchell is the scorer. Yes, the offense goes through Caitlin, though, and everyone benefits from that. On tired legs, that's right. After arriving at 3 in the morning, the Fever scored 113 points and beat Chicago, who was desperate for a win, by 23. Clark set the tone. Mitchell supplied the second half knockout. But among those in attendance, this is where it got spicy. Enes Kanter Freedom came to watch this game, and he ended up becoming a part of it. Kanter Freedom was sitting courtside wearing a shirt displaying the dictionary definition of a woman. That's right. He got into it with Natasha Cloud in the third quarter. Kanter yelling in Cloud's direction. Cloud responded. The two exchanged words, and security escorted Kanter Freedom out of the arena. Roll it, Dominic.
Before the break, this was the scene inside Wintrust Arena after Natasha Cloud got that bucket. She wanted her voice heard. We have talked about the conversations surrounding the W. That is Enes Kanter in the building today. And he has voiced how he's felt about the situation. Natasha Cloud.
Yeah, you know what? These two have a history. It was a while ago. Kanter Freedom recently announced his intention to enter the 2027 WNBA draft, but they got at it like a few years ago about America and all these comments. All right, so let's review what happened in Chicago tonight. Caitlin Clark, amazing. Just fire in the second half. Indiana scores 113 points. And sitting courtside, a former NBA center who wants to enter the WNBA draft next season. Yeah. Arguing with a Chicago Sky player before being kicked out. Just another quiet night in the WNBA. But this is no longer an isolated incident. Everywhere the Fever travel, the controversy surrounding Sophie Cunningham's comments seems to follow them. That's right. There have been rallies and counter protests in Seattle, in Portland, in Minnesota, in Chicago, in New York. Sophie has been booed. Fans have been confronted. Messages have appeared on arena video boards. Even mascots, yes, mascots in Toronto, have become part of the conversation. And now the controversy has moved from outside the arena to courtside. The WNBA keeps saying it wants everyone to focus on basketball. Then I got an idea. Clarify your policy. Tell everyone exactly who is eligible to enter the draft and compete in this league. Stop leaving a vacuum that players, former players, protesters, politicians even are more happy to fill in. And I still believe the WNBA likes all this attention, even though the commissioner, coaches, and players say the opposite to us publicly. Yeah. Every confrontation creates another headline. Every protest becomes another viral video. Every Fever road game becomes another national conversation about the WNBA. But attention is not leadership. Until the league gives everyone a direct answer, you heard me, this circus is going to continue and will follow the Fever from city to city. Sunday night, it brought a courtside ticket and then got escorted out. What do you think? Put your comments in the chat box. Maybe we'll show them on the screen. That's what we do here on the Linda Cohn Show. Remember a few days ago, I told you the NFL was preparing to release more than 1,000 players, and that because of a judge's ruling, some of those players might actually go back to college? Yeah, well, guess what? It is happening. Adam Schefter following up, he reports that the Cleveland Browns are waiving tight end Daquan Wright. And if White clears waivers, he already has an agreement in place to play for LSU this season. Yes, you heard that right. He went from Ole Miss to Philadelphia Eagles, then to the Cleveland Browns, and now he may be heading back to the SEC to play for LSU. This is not the transfer portal. This is a football round trip. Wright has already become the first active NFL player to enter the college transfer portal. Now, if he clears waivers and actually plays for LSU, he's believed to become, and he will become, the first former NFL player ever to return to play college football. That is history, and it may only be the beginning, I'm afraid. Wright, who turns 33 next month, is among a group of players who received a temporary legal protection from a Louisiana judge that challenges the NCAA eligibility rules. Other players currently in NFL camps are exploring this same possibility. So think what this means. Final cutdown day is August 30th. Teams are going to cut it down to 53 players from 90 players. And now, instead of every player released to a practice squad, some of them may look at the money available in NILs and going back to college. They'll say to themselves, yes, maybe me, maybe I'll go back to school. And college coaches can now potentially recruit players directly out of NFL training camps. This is so wrong. I talked about this last week on this show because it sounded completely crazy. That's what I called it. Now Daquan Wright is about to make it real. Prepare yourself. He may be the first, but he's not going to be the last. Not if there's money to be made. I feel bad for these kids working so hard to get a scholarship. No roster spot for them. The NFL used to be the destination. College football was where you came from. Apparently now it can also be where you go back to. All right, coming up, this was an experiment. Sunday show, little haphazard. It's on me. We'll figure it out. But there was so much to talk about. I still can't believe Enes Kanter Freedom got thrown out of that game and what he created a spectacle. But every night in the WNBA, it is a circus. We will be back Monday Night Live in our usual time slot, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 Pacific. Special guest, host of this amazing podcast, School of Greatness podcast, Lewis Howes, will be joining me. Plus, we'll go over all the headlines and all the big stories right here on the Linda Cohn Show. Don't forget to comment and don't forget to like and subscribe. Want to hear from you. Really appreciate all of our subscribers. And, we're going to figure it out together. And thanks for being on this journey with me. Have a great night.